Ladies and gentlemen, for this next contest, fighting out of the red corner with an official weight of 11 stone 8 pounds, wearing the black belt with white trim, from Riga, Latvia, Andrejs Loginovs. And fighting out of the blue corner this evening with an official weight of 11 stone 7 pounds, wearing the red and black shorts with silver trim, from Trowbridge, Nick Blackwell. This contest will consist of 6 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes. The referee for this contest is Mr. Grant Wallace, your timekeeper, Mr. Nick White.
So here we go for the co-featured top of the bill here at the Olympiad in Chippenham. Local boy Nick Blackwell, the reigning English middleweight champion, against a late change of opponent Andrejs Loginovs. And here we go for the first round. Nick Blackwell, unblemished record, and looking at this as a bit of a warm-up fight for his upcoming title defence against Matt Haney, coming up in Derby in about a month or two's time. So very interesting lineup this, and one of the most promising boxers in the country.
Very much so, ranked 25 in last week's boxing news, from another prospect to the Contender gym. And Nick looking superbly fit, nice and sharp. Like a late change of opponent there, which is a bit unsettling, but he's fit, he's prepared, and looks to be an interesting contest so far, Nigel.
Yep, so Nick Blackwell, as I say, the reigning English middleweight champion, the youngest ever, and just biding his time before that title defence. 7 wins in 7 fights, and beautiful body shot there from Blackwell, who'll be looking to, if not end this in a hurry, but certainly to impress if he can, as I say, a warm-up for that title fight, and also against his local fans here, because he's only just down the road from Trowbridge, and certainly brought a fair number along to support him, and that left hook to the ribs is already proving to be a potent weapon.
That's right, underneath the elbow, he's gone to the ribs there. That's the engine of a fighter. You take an engine out of a car, it doesn't go. Same with a fighter. And I think if Nick goes to the body and then straight up to the head with the same hand, it could cause some problems here.
We don't know too much about the opponent, Andrejs Loginovs. He's won 5, lost 4, and drawn 1 of his contests, and he was in the ring just 2 weeks ago. So he'll either be fit or worn out, one of the two.
Well, I know I'd be worn out. I got worn out coming up the stairs tonight, Nigel. So, but he's certainly making a fight of it so far.
Yeah, he looks a tidy customer, does the visiting fighter from Riga in Latvia. Turned pro when he was 20. That's the age that Nick Blackwell is now. In October, I think Nick's birthday is when he'll be getting the key to the door, and also then be able to fight for bigger titles. But at the moment, he's more than happy with the progress he's made in his pro career, and he's showing all that prowess at the moment. Nice tight style, fluent hands, upstairs, downstairs, and he caught him with a decent looking shot there now. So he's a busy fighter, isn't he, Blackwell? He's on the move all the time.
Actually a pressure fighter, a little change of angle there from the feet, trying to seat the guy out. But best work on the inside there, the bent arm shots to the body and the head. Oh, just like that, Nige, very damaging.
Yeah, very nice from Nick Blackwell. As I mentioned, obviously he is the English middleweight champion. He won that when he beat Harry Matthews unanimous decision last November. That was at Bath University, and that fight against Matt Haney, defending that title, is on the 28th of May, and it's in Derby. So he will be the away fighter there, but I know PJ Ralston, his promoter, tells me that they're not afraid to go anywhere really. That he's good enough, so you can put him in against the best and he'll perform well.
Yeah, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? If you've got that much confidence in your man, then yeah, you'll travel to get the work in this game, Nige.
Yeah. So Nick Blackwell up and out of his corner, eager to get on with the action. He finished it strongly the first round against the Latvian. Blackwell will be looking to work him over again. Getting some back from Loginovs though. Physically very similar, although Nick seems to have filled out a little bit more since I last saw him actually. The muscle tone is getting bigger and better, and certainly his movement is excellent. And the confidence of the man as well, the young man. That's the other thing. One so young, he's more than happy to go in and mix it and knows just what he's doing. He just looks self-assured.
That's right. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's seeking out the targets, Nige. It's almost as if he's just in the gym hitting the pads. He's going to the body, up to the head, combinations, 4 or 5 shots. Very mature.
So remember the name, Nick Blackwell. I'm sure you'll see plenty more of him in the years to come. The middleweight division is pretty competitive, but he certainly has his eye on a British title shot within the next, well, I suppose certainly the next couple of years, but maybe sooner than that if the right opportunities come up. But for now, he's got a Latvian to deal with here in Chippenham, all part of the learning process. And come on, Nick, says one of his fans in front of us. And I think he's probably got to the stage almost where people expect him to win now, so his fans maybe waiting for Nick to give them something to shout about. They're so confident that he's going to walk through people, but I'm sure he would appreciate the odd cheer and shout of encouragement as he goes about his work. Nothing particularly flashy about either boxer just at the moment though in this round.
That's right, very workmanlike. The Latvian's front hand's very, very low. There's an opening there for the right hand over the top, which I'm sure Nick would have seen, and in due course may put it together.
Yeah, so Blackwell on the attack again, trapping Loginovs in the blue corner, being pushed back by the visitor, who tries to push him away with an uppercut. Good right hook to the ribs from Blackwell, and then brilliant combination left-right, just rocks his man back a little bit. That reminds me, yes, Bang Bang, that of course is his nickname. He came out to tune up by that name, and go on Bang Bang, says somebody in front of us, and that's what they want to see, Bang Bang and good night if they possibly can.
We got at this stage, and as I say, we're still early doors, so it's every possibility. But the Latvian, good competitor.
Yes, because as we've discussed previously, you never quite know with some of the visiting boxers whether they're going to come and lie down in the first round. Is not quite what I mean, but you know what I mean. We've all seen some visiting boxers just here for the money, but clearly Andrejs Loginovs is a cool customer, somebody worthy of plenty of respect.
Very much so. Has to be said as well, I mean, in professional and amateur boxing in other countries isn't as well regulated as ours, and as I say, it'd be you wouldn't like to hazard a bet on actually how many contests they've had, because as I said, the rules and regulations are completely different. But as I say, at the moment he's still there, soaks out some good shots to the body, but still there, Nige.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, I think that he was in the ring just 2 weeks ago against a gentleman called Lipping, and he won on points. That's on the 15th of April, and here we are just on the 30th, and he's back in action again. He's our friend from Riga in Latvia. Nick Blackwell in the red and black, and throwing the punches sweetly again.
Yeah, there was the right hand there, Nige. If he can go jab to the body, bring his hand down, right hand over the top, be very effective. As I say, very tight defense, good defense from the Latvian, and as I say, very competitive at the moment.
Yeah, this is a good test for Nick Blackwell, and he'll be glad to get the rounds under his belt, I'm sure. Was going to fight in Swindon earlier in the year, in February I think it was, but got glandular fever, which caused him to pull out. So he hasn't boxed since that title win back in November. So it's a good little warm-up for him, this, to not too far to travel, and a good quality opponent. International experience in only your 8th fight, must be good. Blackwell again, just jab, although not too much being thrown just at the moment by either boxer. And there's a beautiful right to the stomach of the Latvian, and he's hurt him there with that one, and then followed up, and then a flashing left finds the target as well. Good work here by Blackwell, taking his time, finding the right opening, not getting a rush of blood to the head.
That's right. That's very mature of him. He's settled back now. He hurt the Latvian there, I would suggest. Nige, good right hand, and Latvian comes back again with overhand right. He's not a bag on legs, this guy. He's for real. So as I say, and as you say, Nige, excellent test to bring Nick back in after a layoff.
Yep. So there's another big solid right hand by Blackwell that lands, and I think has hurt the Latvian again. Blackwell senses it and comes back inside, and then digs into the ribs with the left, working him over now. He senses his opportunity to try to get the uppercut through the guard, didn't succeed, and then catch him with a beautiful right, and now he's in a lot of trouble. And I think Blackwell could possibly, well, he was looking to finish it off. Grant Wallace taking a very close look, but Loginovs survived the crisis for the moment, and the bell has got him out of it. But just from a split second, it looked like Loginovs was trapped in a corner, and Blackwell was going to keep him there.
That's right, the right hand again, over it came, body shot, set the guy up. It wore him down in the early rounds. You continually getting work to the body. It's worn the Latvian down, the right hand's come over the top, sweet shot. And it has to be said at the moment, the Latvian doesn't look too up for him.
No, over in the Latvian's corner, we're looking at Blackwell just at the moment, but over in the Latvian's corner, he was almost resting his head on the rope. He's worn out, I would suggest, and probably doesn't fancy it too much more. I wouldn't be too surprised if Blackwell doesn't step in now and end it a little bit early.
Well, the old boxing adage, isn't it? No, he's punched to the body and the head will fall, and that's certainly what's happened here. He's just Nick's punched all the life from him.
And Loginovs looking very reluctant indeed to get up off his stool, and that will have been noted by Grant Wallace as well, I'm sure. So if Blackwell can launch a sustained assault in the early stages of this round, I would have thought he will be giving the referee something to think about.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time. Again, he's just settling back, Nick, and biding his time when the shot comes. I suggest that would be it.
So Blackwell then looking supremely confident, very tidy coming forward. Loginovs over the immediate crisis, but looking very, very weary. Just cagey start to the round. As Craig said, though, Blackwell's got plenty of time. Clearly dominating the fight at the moment, but he just needs that one opening, and I think if he finds it, lands something decent, he'll be then in and jump on him and try and finish it off. But for the moment, Loginovs content to backpedal around the ring, keeping it out of range, out of any serious harm, but Blackwell now trying to close the ring down and trapping him in that corner, and this is where he's going to launch the assault. Going to the body and actually very nicely out of the trouble, but straight back into the other neutral corner, and the body shots now are powering in, and I don't think this is going to go very much longer.
Grant Wallace taking a look now, and he's down. Body shot.
Brilliant sustained attack by Nick Blackwell, and I don't think he's going to make this count. I don't think Grant Wallace will let it go anyway. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
And quite rightly ending it there. Loginovs looking disappointed as he would, knowing what was going to happen. I think that's a very sensible decision by Grant Wallace, and Nick Blackwell has been clinical there really in finishing it off.
Very much so. It's like almost like a surgeon, wasn't he? You know, he picking his shots, seeing the openings, seeing the gaps, putting a shot there. Fantastic, mature performance, and I think the defence of the title is possibly in the bag on the strength of that night.
Yeah, certainly Matt Haney will have plenty to think about when he looks at the fight here on Hatton TV, and he's got to come up with a plan to counteract that. But Nick Blackwell, fantastic, mature performance. Let's hear the result.
After 1 minute and 46 seconds of the fourth round, the referee has stopped the contest. The red corner was no longer able to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the blue corner, from